All right, everybody, I want to get right down to business tonight, right? Because last night we discovered something. And it kind of put the whole rest of the series, for however long it runs, into a little bit of a pickle, a conundrum, if you will, right? Bit of a conundrum. Right? You didn't make it. It's easier to say that I don't drink as opposed to being like, well, under certain circumstances. You know? Anyway, we found something out about our 85 overall team, right? Right. In game, they lost to Wyoming. I had to come back against Eastern Michigan. And we needed to come back against Northwestern. We got absolutely EA'd out of it. Ended up re-simming it and won by 42. Or not by 42, but won by 32. It was 42-10. So then we simmed the next couple of games. And then ultimately the rest of the season because, holy hell, we, for the most part, were steamrolling teams. Except for Boise State. And including Bowling Green. In-game, we were down by 21. We simmed it, and we won 45-13. So, clearly this sim engine is very, very close to that of EA NHL's sim engine, which is not a good thing at all, actually. To the point where, good friend of the channel, one sim for the win. That's CYN FTW Productions on YouTube, by the way. Our boy's back in America, baby. Of course, by the time this ends up on the YouTube side of things, he'll probably live in Finland full time. But I digress. In NHL, and apparently in CFB, if you want to do the more in-depth sim where you can jump in and save the day, you are putting your team at an inherent disadvantage because just menu simming it will have them live up to their full potential a little bit more. And it kinda sucks, right? It kinda sucks. Because I love doing the jump in, the more in-depth sim. You know, it's a little bit more engaging. There's a little bit more to it. But we can now pretty much say with certainty we have been cutting this team out at the legs for the past 2 decades. Like, we have made progress, but the amount of progress we may have been able to make, I don't think we'd be a Div 7 team. I don't think we'd be a Div 6 team. I think we'd be top 4 at this stage with some of the teams that we've had. Maybe that's a little bit optimistic, but we've seen this team underperform. So my game plan, I think, is this. We are going to be simming the vast majority of regular season games, unless it comes down to, well, then again, even a Bowling Green situation, which was a must-win game. We were getting shit on, and then we shit on them, so I don't even know. But I feel like a conference championship game or a playoff game is just too important and interesting to menu sim, right? I think. Shout out to Nick, by the way, for the 40 months. The 40. Nick, I'm doing great. Hopefully you can say the same. Thank you for that. Right, I feel like the conference title game is a little bit too important to just breeze through. So, you could argue whether or not we should or shouldn't be in this game. Personally, I think we would have made it had we just menu sim the whole way anyway, so certain restarts kind of are what they are. I think there's going to have to be more of a balance between menu simming and the in-game jumping in just because of the way this works, which is a bit of a bummer. Although you could also argue it's more about the journey than the destination. Right? So you could argue just stick with the same old thing we've been doing time after time. I love a song, by the way. Because it's at least more interesting, even if it means this team is gonna shit the bed more often than they should. I don't know, man. It's a tough choice, a tough decision on what to do, to be honest. A little bit tough to decide what to do long term, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We've come this far, right? We've battled for this long, and we'll see where we end up ultimately. Welcome in Corey Keglar. The Keglar. Missed out on a couple of people that week, including tight end Von Pierce. That's a shame. Imagine going to Minnesota. Imagine. Great state, but... Now, I do wonder, too, how much our staffing change helped. I do wonder how much our staffing change helped in terms of tactician and our players actually doing well. I have the answer to that. I have an answer to that. A lot of things to figure out. I mean, this game's been out for a while now, and there's still a whole lot of things to figure out. But I think we will leave the staff there. Recruitment-wise, be sure... Oh, we're actually going to have some points here this week. Fair enough. Puddle locked us out. And this was there. Anything else to do? Not looking like it. Just go off of interest. And put more points onto the peoples. So that carries us here. So, yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit bummed out over knowing that this team could be so much further along than they actually are had we menu simmed. But menu simming just isn't as fun. But that's the reason why, you know, I mentioned NHL and I mentioned Sin. Like, he always menu sims in franchise on NHL because he doesn't want his super teams to lose when they shouldn't. And he has the right idea. Clearly. He's clearly got the right idea. But we have UAB in the conference title game. And I'm very intrigued to see how this plays out. To know what the result would be if we menu simmed versus in-game simming. But we are going to jump into this game because it is a very, very, very important game. My expectation is that we will be down about 21-0 at halftime. That is the thought. Jigsy, that's what we were just discussing, and I genuinely believe that there is. So we are putting the team at a disadvantage here. But it's for a good reason. Now, obviously, we don't have as much attachment to this team. It's not as exciting to get to a conference title game because we weren't with this team on a week-by-week basis. That's the other problem. But we also wouldn't be in this game if we weren't menu simming because this team drastically underperformed. So I really don't know the best way to progress now. Make a save spot, quick sim, go to the other side. I mean, yeah, there are ways to do that. I mean, technically we could sim this whole game, see how it plays out, back out before the final whistle, and then menu sim it, and then do a force save, but... So I don't know. I don't know the best way to move forward with this, but we'll see what the outcome of this game happens to be. I mean, I feel like I'm having to choose between fun and results, which kinda sucks. There's no denying it's more fun to follow the team on a week-by-week basis, but there's also no denying they menu sim better than they play, especially in the fourth quarter. The amount of blown leads in the fourth quarter has been astonishing. Now, all of that said, we are up 20-3 in the fourth. Because, of course, we have this entire conversation about how this team sims better than they play. Yet here we are against the number 2 team in the country. Well, there's one touchdown for UAB. They got 4 minutes left. Now 2 minutes left as we had to punt. They fail on 4th down. We're going to win this game. Again, that's not to say that we could never beat the number 2 team in the country, because of course we could.
What an amazing run.
We're going up.
No touching! No touching! No touching! That's a major goal realized, but now
I feel really bad about this previous season. But we know that they never played like that. They never played like that. They were down 21-0 to Bowling Green in the second quarter in the final game of the year. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. We actually put up points in the fourth quarter, too. It was only a field goal. I mean, Sanders only threw the ball 13 times. Since when do we run the football? Sanders ran it 20 times. Like, since when do we actually run the football? Our O-line only gave up 1 sack. I don't know what to think anymore with this game. I don't even know. Maybe last night was a fluke. Dude, Moist had 3.5 sacks in this game. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. I feel bad for saying, hey, we got promoted because we didn't have the same connection with this team that we normally do by the time we get to a title game. I don't know what to make of this. I really don't. Hello, Mills. First and foremost, thank you very much for the raid. I hope TCU treated you well. I am going through a crisis of faith at the moment that I am intrigued to know your thoughts on, but I also we don't necessarily play the game in the same way. So I don't know if you'd even have an opinion. Got spanked by Georgia in the semis, I'm not happy. Well, Millis, you just needed to adjust at halftime. I love you going off on people on Twitter, by the way. It's my favorite thing. That is unfortunate, though. So we have won the American Conference crown. Hello, everybody coming over from Mills, by the way. I appreciate it. Props for supporting a great streamer in Mills, of course. We have been doing a Ball State run. We're in the 2040s because I'm trying to hit the 30-year limit. But I am really intrigued. For anybody that does a little bit more simulation as opposed to playing every single second of every single game, do you feel as though your team plays better if you menu sim as opposed to jumping in game with the super sim, simming to halftime, even the fourth quarter, and then playing out the rest of the game? Because that is what I've kind of discovered this season. Is we have had a really good team pretty consistently, but they often underperform. Unfortunately, I can't show you previous years because it glitches out. I mean, we're in the 2040s, so this menu screen doesn't even know what to do anymore, which is unfortunate. I mean, I guess technically on the right, it does show you how some of the contracts go out and stuff like that. But for example, last year, 2045, we had an 86 overall team. We didn't menu sim at all, and we only won 4 games. Shout out to Jeremiah for the follow, by the way. This year, we menu simmed the vast majority of our games. We won 10 games, jumped into the conference title game, and won that game handedly. I don't know what to make of it. It feels like, unless you're going to play every second of every game, don't bother super simming. you might as well just menu sim because it feels like we're getting much better and more consistent results in line with the overall team that we have. It's a weird spot to be in because it's much more fun, immersive, and engaging long term to jump in week by week. But it feels like I've been putting us at a distinct disadvantage over the past couple of seasons. And by the past couple of seasons, I mean 20 years by doing it that way. Super Sim, I normally put it on fast. And then in the fourth quarter, if we have the lead, I'll go possession by possession. Interesting. Interesting question. I'm intrigued to know if you have a thought or an experience that led you to ask that. The best example that I have is this game against Bowling Green. We initially super simmed this. We were down 21-0 at halftime. So I said, okay, shits and giggles. What if we back out and menu sim it and we crush them? So I just genuinely don't know what to do. Why not play key moments or offensive only? I mean, I could. I try to find a good balance between playing and simming. Otherwise, there's no way we'd be in the 2040s, right? I leave the every second of every game for the Mills of the world. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. So it's put me into a really weird spot where we've simmed pretty much all of this season. Technically, we had a restart against Northwestern and Bowling Green so I could menu sim those games instead of super sim. And both times we obliterated the opponents that we would have lost to otherwise. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how I want to progress through the final few years here until we hit that 30-year limit. I mean, you could argue we've already hit kind of the peak that we're going to hit, at least with the Cardinals. I mean, we're going to be heading into the college football playoff here, I'd imagine, with a 10-3 record and a conference title win. It's just really bizarre to think that, for me, what's a more fun way to play the game doesn't seem to be the best way. If your team's good enough, type of sim doesn't matter. Mills, I think I would have agreed with that prior to last night. But like, we're seeing, instead of a 20-point loss, a 20-point win by changing up the type of sim against the same team. It could just be bad luck. That is a factor. But I know you're joking around. It's fine. Yeah, I just don't know what to make of it. I really don't know what to make of it, especially, too, got to Moist, who had a hell of a game. Conference Defensive Player of the Week. We'll have the Offensive Player of the Week, too, because, of course, it's a conference title game. Your coach AI only affects sim, not super sim. Right, I don't think I have enough control. I don't think I have enough control for the super sim to be able to affect the super sim. I feel like the only thing that I can necessarily control are the playbooks. Even then, whenever we jump into the super sim, I have my own custom playbook. Sometimes they would put up 40 points, other times not so much. We've been messing around with the aggression and everything like that, just to try and get this team to be somewhat consistent. And we'll go from putting up 40 points on somebody to having 3 points by the fourth quarter in consecutive games against teams of different skill level. And oftentimes we're better. More often than not, we're better. So it's just really, really weird. CWP, I do. I don't. Have they fixed the ability to download playbooks? What is the name of the playbook?
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Shout out to Troopa. Hell of a name. Hell of a name. Thank you for the follow. God. Yeah, so I don't know. Search Tugi's RPO Fund 24. It's the most recent version of the offensive playbook. So, yeah, I don't know. Because I gotta be honest, right now I'm at the point where I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have simmed the season, because now I'm like, well, it's just not as fun. But obviously, I don't have a save point for the beginning of the year, so we're just gonna have to accept that for what it was. and move on. I'm probably going to continue to go about this the same way, but I am genuinely intrigued to know, and I have no way to perfectly replicate it because of all the subsequent recruitment classes and stuff like that. I'm genuinely intrigued to know how much more success, and maybe we would have had the same amount, but it feels like there would have been a lot more success had I just menu simmed every single game, but that is nowhere near as fun. I digress. Once again, your 2046 Heisman winner, Fanal Rust at Washington, the junior. God, he wouldn't even, would he be born? I think he probably, 2024. This guy probably has like a 2025, 2026 birthday. That's horrifying. Got to Fanal Rust, though. That was not one of our guys, no. Your defensive player of the year. Oh my God, there's no way he would have put up numbers like that if we weren't menu simming. There's no way. The most amount of sacks we've seen a player with in a season is like 13. Maybe it was 15 and a half, something like that. This guy put up 21 sacks in a season. There's just no way that would have happened otherwise. I'm convinced. That is an ungodly season from him, though. Damn. He was the best defensive end as well.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
I mean, probably. Dragons, thank you, by the way, for the follow. The problem is in the Super Sim, if we don't have the quarter length at like 7 or 8 minutes, if we have it at 15, our players would win every single award every single year. Because they don't have the NBA style of simulated quarters and matching that up with the length of the quarters from when you're playing the game. It just kind of has the stats be what they are. It worked the same way back in NCAA 14 as well, so. Damn, Moist won everything but the Heisman. Didn't he have 18 tackles in one game? No, that was a linebacker that we had. I don't even know if that game technically counted. So that, and we have made the playoffs, by the way. We have definitely made the playoffs. Right. Again, I got to accept the season for what it is. But we might have a new formula, a new method here for the final few seasons that we still have with this team. We've never had a quarterback put up numbers like that, ever. Ever. Good old Cornell Sanders, 3,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Damn. Damn. Best quarterback season we've ever seen. And he's only a 75. Exactly. So imagine what some of the guys that have been 80 plus would have done instead of being disappointments, like Isaiah Boutte, who was an 87. Maybe we should put the quarter length back up to the max? Maybe that would help a little bit, but I don't know. I'll give them credit for this. We're still discovering things about this game a month after launch. Wasn't Snitsky's fault, over 600 yards, 8 touchdowns. You also had Joseph, Mary, and Jesus with 5 touchdowns as well. On 300 yards, not bad. Receiving-wise, over 1,000 yards for the sophomore, 1 foot into Graves with 11 touchdowns as well. 65 receptions. Weiss and Eason, the freshman, nearly hit 1,000 yards as well. Okay. And both he and Greg Jennings. Fuck you, Gumby. 9 touchdowns apiece. Blocking-wise, Jordan Short Arms Pickford was spotless. I mean, he was amazing. Mo Hito at center did not have a very good year. I think he was only in because of injury. So. Defensively, 77 tackles for Colin Sackerpick. Like, it's quite evident. Our offense was on the field a lot more. Our defense played much better, too, because we typically do not see players with that low of a tackle total. And then 21 and a half sacks for Moist. What's his... Like, did he even have double digits prior to this year? He had 5.5 sacks heading into this year. And then had 21.5 because we menu sim the vast majority of the season. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to play this if we're not going to play every single snap. And I don't know. I'm questioning everything at the moment. But 21.5 sacks for the senior is insane. Absolutely insane. We didn't have anybody with more than 2 interceptions this year, which is okay. Shout out to triple platinum corner Junior Gooch. Unreal. And our kicker went 18 of 21 with 1 block. And also had an extra point block this year. Huh. Okay. Julian, basically, I define menu simming as just advancing from week to week. Instead of jumping into your game, just hit next week and see the result. Typically what we do around here is we go into the super sim, we sim the game, pretty much up until the 4th quarter, and then we pay close attention. If the team needs me to jump in to try to save them, I will. But if they can win it on their own, I let them. What we noticed this year is that through the super sim, we were much more inconsistent than through just advancing week. There were teams that we were struggling against that through the menu sim, Northwestern, Minnesota, Fresno State, we just obliterated a good amount of teams that we played this year that we would have struggled against otherwise. So, like I said, because I don't play every second of every game, because I try to balance progress with the recruits that we bring in, I'm trying to figure out now what's the best way to do this, and I'm not sure. Because I really didn't think there would be that noticeable of a difference, but there is. Dude, Hawaii's been insane. They have had the most consistent quarterback play. And by the way, in this timeline, App State are a top-notch program who have won a national title. For anybody that is not familiar with what we do here. Touchdown king with 46 was Jalen Anger. And now Rust was the Heisman winner. So Kevin McCree up there for Penn State. A lot of guys with at least 40 touchdowns. Doesn't happen that often.
I'm just trying to walk through this.
Julian, thank you for the follow, by the way, as well. 17 picks. Jace Bagava. Sorry to Bagava. I swear to God, I thought his name was Ricardo Cussin. Like, how is that in the name pool? And now I'm disappointed. 1,300 yards from Mitch Franz at Michigan. Damn. Again, obviously, we're so far into the future here. It's all generated players at this point. 6 fumbles for Mr. Costanzo at South Florida. That is not ideal. And receiving-wise... I mean, yeah, dude, Hawaii just does so well in this timeline. So well. And the Maurice Cummings at Florida with 20 touchdowns. Okay. Did anybody else have close to... Oh, man, they still haven't fixed it to show defensive linemen, huh? That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Hopefully that's in the patch in the morning. That would be nice. Are we fully healthy? Yes, we are. Okay. The other Mills. 3rd Mills. So many Mills. What's going on? How are you? Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what to make of this. Now, to confuse other people a little bit more that might not know what we do here, let's take a look at the conference standings, because we do have a promotion rotation system, of course, with custom conferences, and we need to talk about who's getting promoted out of this bottom tier. Oh, my God. So it ended up being a 4-team tie, all at 9-3. So we need to go off of point differential to decide who is going up. You got Florida Atlantic at a plus 51. Charlotte at a plus 76. Toledo. I don't think you're going to make it, Toledo, but let's get that exact number. 85. I lied. Shout out to Toledo. And then, dude, Ohio. I mean, damn. All right, it's Ohio and Toledo. Okay. Fair enough. So Toledo will be going up, and Ohio will be going up. Let's take a look at Tier 10 Conference USA. Wyoming is going to get dropped. They had one more outright loss over Georgia State. So Wyoming is going down, and then in the other conference, perfect season for Kennesaw. And technically, it's going to be JMU that go down. They played one less conference game for some reason. But JMU also going down. Okay. So that we know. Tier number 9 is the MAC. And it is Sam Houston, of course, at the bottom. Shout out to dude, Western Michigan just keeps being a bit of a surprise. But yeah, so Sam Houston will go down. Tier 8 is the Sun Belt, and Liberty Bibberty had themselves a very, very rough season. 1-9 overall. Tier 7 is our home conference, the American, in which Fresno State were absolutely atrocious. Fair enough. Tier 6, the Mountain West, sees Washington State get dropped. 2-8 overall conference record. I still can't believe a team like Clemson has found themselves in the 6th tier, but that's the reality we live in. Pac-12, Virginia Tech. 2 conference wins out of the 10 games. So down they go. Tier number 4, the ACC. The former national champion UCLA Bruins fall again. Once a Tier 1 program, they're falling down to Tier 5. Hard times, daddy, hard times. Sorry, I saw a clip of Dusty Rhodes playing basketball on Twitter earlier. It was nuts. West Virginia, you are heading down a tier. Only 2-8 in conference. Big Ten, Alabama, who stayed in the top tier for so long, have now been dropped down to Tier 3. So some of the traditional powerhouses are starting to really struggle. And then top tier SEC, Miami, the U, also going down. Dude, looks like Washington had an absolutely ridiculous season. We got to check those conference title games as well to see who got promoted. Needless to say, Georgia Southern won the Conference USA crown in convincing fashion. Boston College have won the Pac-12, which is still a very ridiculous statement. Arizona upsets Western Michigan. All that praise I had for Western Michigan, and they just blew it. Arizona's going up. Syracuse over Penn State to win that Big 12 crown, as they continue to kind of yo-yo between conferences. Troy Trojans have won the Sun Belt, so we will have to... Actually, we won't have to deal with them next year because we got promoted after winning the American crown. So we are going up to Tier 6, controversial as it may be. Cincinnati have... Oh my... Dude, we're going to be in the same conference as Clemson. Cincinnati have been promoted after beating Michigan State. Washington beat Michigan for the SEC crown. And at the bottom, Pittsburgh over Hawaii for the ACC. Okay. And then, yeah, Big Ten ended up being Ohio's. Dude, App State was 3 points away from getting promoted to the top tier. That is outrageous. It was nearly App State in a higher tier than Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Georgia, Bama, USC. I mean, they are actually going to be in a higher conference than Bama already. And technically JMU, yeah, because we lost the game. We're fine. Okay. So the college football playoff this year is as follows. Troy against Southern Miss. Winner plays Ball State. LSU against UAB. The winner gets Ohio State. Iowa and Georgia. Winner takes on Syracuse. Rutgers and App State, the winner draws Washington in the Cotton Bowl. What a weird, weird world we have created here. Very, very weird world. Yeah, we did get a bye as well. It's our first ever bye into the playoffs. So technically in the portal, we're going to be able to target 2 extra players that are a star level above what we're allowed to get, because not only did we make the playoffs, but we technically got to the quarterfinal round. So this has turned out to be a ridiculous season for us. No doubt about that. And because we got that promotion, we're going to be able to put our coach points on as well. We only have 20. I don't think there's anything else we really want to do here. Yeah, we can just sim the week. Oh, man. Mark, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Hope that coach prestige goes up as well. Mark, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Welcome back. And indeed, we get a chance to make Brett Favre cry in the Orange Bowl against old friends of ours, Southern Mississippi. Okay. Okay, Southern Miss it is. We'll have a chance to make them cry. Let's put those 20 points on. Barris as well. What's up, man? Again, we're trying to avoid the recruiter tab as best we can. If I'm not mistaken, we did technically unlock Scheme Guru, but again, I want to focus on Motivator for now. Especially since we got rid of the other players that we had at Motivator. We can get linebacker. We can get both of them, actually. That's perfect. So we're going to be able to round out the Motivator tab for everyone except kicker and punter. You get another 4-star from promotion or just a playoff win. So technically, if you make the playoffs, you get a star level above. And if you win a playoff round, you also get a star level above. I'm going to kind of cheat and say we won a playoff round. We got a bye. Right? Right? So, as much as I'm intrigued to see what would happen if we simulated all of this, for the big-time games, playoff games, there's no way I can just hit advance week. Like, the moment's lost at that point, right? I mean, we still want to try to have some fun with it. Now, that said, obviously, in real life, it's not impossible for Southern Miss to win this game. Will I be furious if they're up like 21 or more points to nothing? Yeah. Yeah, I would be. But we'll see how it plays out, is all I can say. As we know, we are on the way up. What is the difference? It's literally just the face mask. Gotta be honest, Ball State doesn't exactly have the best collection of uniforms here. Have I seen the insane CEO bundle? Yes. Yes. Yeah, anytime some crazy stuff like that gets discovered, people immediately are just like, oh my god, did you see this? And it's like, yes, I don't want to take advantage of it, though. I'm just trying to figure out why the sim won't be nice to me. Back in the playoffs for Ball State. Bit unceremonious because of how we handled the year, but what's in the past is in the past. I don't think we'll ever make a top division, top conference. But boy, would I love to see this team go on a magical, magical run here. A magical run. Fair enough, Marcel. Fair enough. Oh, the Orange Bowl. All right. Gentlemen, you did technically, and I didn't even hit the button for no touching over UAB, but I don't feel like they didn't deserve it. Oh god, we're not menu simming. Well, but it was a good year. Welcome, Razor. You've missed a lot in the last little while. First quarter here against Southern Mississippi. And we're up 7-3 at the end of one. Okay, obviously not bad. See what things are looking like heading towards halftime. 10-3, 17-3. You bastards. All of that talk, and now you're actually going to play like a good team? All of that? Just a minute. Now I'm just going to look foolish and look like I'm complaining for no reason. Third quarter. Oh, this team. We have blown many a fourth quarters, though. Many a leads in the fourth quarter. as we miss a 54-yard field goal. That's not great. All right, there's one. There's one. I'm waiting for the next one. Yep, there's the interception. We're going to have ourselves a tie game. There it is. There's that very questionable sim engine rubber banding comeback logic that we have been talking about that happens far too often. As if you couldn't tell from my voice being like, I can't even complain about this anymore. It's always the fourth quarter, every time. I really don't know how we're going to handle another season. I really don't. What I do know is we are going to jump into this and try to save the day. With 3:51 to go, we might as well try to win this football game. But I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. The only thing I know is breathing and fine dining at this point.
Great job on the offensive line.
I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
Plays like this can open up the
Easton might be open here.
allow him to make that defense think, are they going to run? Maybe play action.
Thank
maybe
you.
throw the ball downfield.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Man, this wide receiver has been a-
Try to run this ball down their throats. Ideally, they wouldn't touch the ball again.
Now they look to him again, and he picks up the first down.
From the shotgun,
Blocking, boys. Nice job.
he's tackled just
Got the backup quarterback. I didn't even look, actually.
I tell you, to be able to pick up a nice
It sure is.
offensive lineman have to sustain.
Oh, boy. Out for a quarter with a shoulder strain, and our starting running back is out for the game with a dislocated shoulder. We'll see. There you go. That's why we gave up 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Clearly. Oh, man. Dude, both of our touchdown passes have come out of the Wildcat. That's insane. That's insane, but okay.
Gave him a chance in a really nice game.
One more play here before the two.
takes the handoff again. The sophomore with
We're all right with that.
The defense coordinator
We'll take the 2 minutes here. Yeah, we have played this exact scenario dozens and dozens of times now. Have a lead heading in the fourth. They always blow it, and then it's whether or not I can secure the comeback. It might be a bit too far out for this to work, but...
pick up the first down here on 3rd and short.
Yep, it's 4th and inches. Oh, boy.
Stop just short of the marker. It's going to be 4th
Uh-oh.
down and inches to go.
Come on now, we can make this, right? Back-to-back Tom Brady specials.
On the same page.
Yeah, he made it. That's for you, Tom. That's for you.
First and 10.
Go eat a strawberry.
Cannot get the throw off. He's taken.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Shout out to Ben for the follow. Remind me to take RPOs that involve the counter out of the playbook. They're broken. They're absolutely broken. Like, literally, let go of the football, friend. And instead, nope, tackle for like, look, what are we doing here? His arm doesn't even know how to react because it's still in the handoff freaking motion. Like, dude, he's already running with the ball. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Play at this stage of the game.
Do not call a counter on an RPO. Don't do it. It'll never go well for you.
Off the RPO, caught to the right.
Oh my God, get trucked. Get trucked. It was beautiful.
kind of lost the running back here. Makes a nice catch. Gets the
We're not quite in field goal range yet. Nimmo, you need to move over, buddy.
Motion. Can't get it away. The defense has got.
Hello? Good job, fellas. Good job. Should we get the guy right in front of us? No. Left guard's going to get the end, and the left tackle is going to go for that guy. Oh, but actually, excuse me, the left guard went for the linebacker, and the left tackle went for the guy lined up at the left guard. Oh my God. This game has been on one tonight, and last night, and the night before.
A quick throw out left, complete.
Okay. Well, ideally, we would get the first down here.
Pick up some positive yards. I continue to be impressed with just the chemistry between these two.
An inside give now from the shotgun. Defense stops him short.
Why do the handoffs take so long? I have no idea, because last night we checked like our quarterback to be like, oh, like what should his handoff rating be and stuff like that. We had a guy with like 92 play action. This is massively risky, but this would end the game if we get it.
I think you roll the dice. I think you kick the field goal.
And we did not get it. Okay. I mean, let's be honest. We got totally screwed on that drive by horrific animations. But yeah, well... When's that knee go down? Right there. Okay, from there it does look like he's short. But yeah, maybe I should have thrown that or looked for the monster or just kicked the field goal, but okay.
That decision to go for it on fourth down doesn't work
Oops.
out.
Yeah, to that camera angle, please.
How aggressive will it be?
Well, I thought we made it, but apparently not. Is it too late to challenge? Let's just challenge really quickly. Why not?
He may use a challenge here to have the officials take another look at
Literally, it's like he hit a brick wall. Just yoink, straight down to the ground.
Not the news, though, Coach.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
Here, he
Okay.
took a chance, calling a
That's
timeout
fine.
to get the replay.
I mean, if we lose because of my aggression there, that's fine, because they lost the game in the fourth quarter before anyway. So.
Looking to throw it on first down. Looking for the wide out.
Are you kidding?
He's got it for a big gain.
Okay. I wasn't expecting 4 people to just look while he caught the ball, though. I mean, I'd like to see my team try a little bit. A little bit.
First down, looking to throw the ball. It's caught downfield. Tackle made.
Well, we've lost this game. 2 plays, bam, right downfield, no problem. Oh, boy. I'll probably accept this loss, but then again, maybe I won't. Who knows?
He'll be taken.
Maybe I won't accept this loss. I don't know. Because I am really intrigued to see what happens if we menu sim this. Because I genuinely believe we could win this game by like 30 points if we were to menu sim it.
Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off.
We, at the very least, wouldn't have blown a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter.
The defense.
I didn't pick a play. Hello?
About that look, and they'll make an
Hello?
adjustment before this important play.
I didn't pick a play, though.
Brought down, but broke a tackle to produce a solid game.
We'll see if they hit the field goal for the win.
On fourth down, out-trots the place kicker in a very
We'll see.
big
Like I said, I'm not going to guarantee I accept this result just because it's hilarious.
right now.
Okay, they didn't end up winning. I just want to see. I have no problem giving them a force win. I just want to see how drastically different the score is if we menu sim it. Instead of us, as we routinely do, blowing a multi-score lead in the fourth, right? So, let me just create a different save here. Like I said, I have no problem handing them the force win because whatever, I went for it on fourth, and that's fine. But if we were to menu sim this, what's the score? And if they beat us, then cool, we can just move on. Okay, they beat us there too. Fair enough. Fair enough. They beat us both ways. Fair play. Fair play, then. I mean, I probably should have just gone to the playoff bracket, but all right. They beat us 33-14. Apparently, we were just meant to lose that game. Apparently. So instead of us blowing a 14-point lead, we just get crushed instead by 19? Interesting. Interesting. Really quickly. I am absolutely taking those broken-ass plays out of this playbook. Which means any RPO that involves a counter, because those are completely broken. So we'll get rid of those, and then we'll see what happens next, I guess.